What, Jake? I never did understand. Are you running Republican?
No, I am an independent candidate.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I had a few people tell me, and I was going to ask you. My bad. So we have an independent candidate. He's running for Salazar's seat, the seat that he has right now. So Jake Segrest is from, Fruita. I knew he was local, but I got things mixed up. I'm sorry, I wasn't ready for this. But I've talked to him a few times, and he'd asked and asked to come up here. So finally I got with everybody and said, sure. So Jake, if you'll come up and tell us what you have to say, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Jake Segrest. I'm a business operator in Fruita, Colorado. Only thing more frightening than standing up here speaking before you is being humbled by a 14-year-old young lady. I'm a business operator from Fruita, Colorado. I'm a husband. I have 2 children in college. And I'm an independent candidate for the 3rd Congressional District. It's not that I feel particularly competent to run for this position. It's not that I'm an eloquent speaker. The reason I'm running for this is the lack of choice we have as Americans today. Today, for whatever reason you're here for, whatever has prompted your unhappiness with the things that are going on, the Republican Party is 50% responsible for as long as you and I, most of you, and I have been alive. It's been the Republican and Democratic Party. For 30 years, the Republican Party or the Democratic Party has been able to move things toward the left. It's not because the Republican Party hasn't had opportunity. They've had majorities a number of times. But the reason they don't do anything is because it's not in their interest. And I'll point to the candidates we have today. Today, we have one guy who is a career politician. We have another guy who is a retired military attorney. The 2 things that we're shortest of most in Washington, D.C. are career politicians and attorneys. No one seems to want to step up to run except for the same insider group of people. It's pretty obvious. I'm not a politician. And not all this shaking is from pride. Part of it's just my physical nature. But nobody wants to step up. If we were to evaluate the Republican Party as a football team, and I'm not even a football fan, the coach would have been fired, the players traded, and we wouldn't even remember their name. That's how successful, that's what an utter failure the Republican Party has been for conservative men and women in the United States. And we don't have much of a choice today. And just think about, over your lifetime, how many times we've sent the Republican Party to go portray conservative values and ideas for us in Washington, D.C., and how many times they failed. Our votes are a vote of last resort. It's because we feel we have no other choice. This is the first one of these I've been to that we've had this many young people at. It's real refreshing to see them. In fact, it's appalling to me that young people aren't crying out, Mom and Dad, why are you dumping this burden on my life? And the reason I'm up here running today, I don't want to sound like some moral overly moralistic person. But the reason I'm running today is to offer an opportunity for somebody to vote for people that are not inside the system. If you can't support me, then you need to go back, bend your wife's ear, twist your neighbor's arm, talk to a member of church, but you need to get some normal people up here running for office. As long as we can remember, two parties have monopolized, and I've voted for them my whole life. Two parties have monopolized our government structure. And that is the reason we're exactly where we are today. For the lack of the Republican Party to live up to any of its platform. I asked you today, what do you feel you have in common with the two candidates that are running for the Republican Party? One of them's a retired military officer. Do you think he's ever faced the dilemma of health care? And I don't have anything against military people. I spent 6 years in myself. But the real war is out here. It's called the capitalist free enterprise system. What does he know of that? How does he relate to you? Do you feel that a man that has the opportunity and the time to fool around on Mount Kilimanjaro and clean up trash on Mount Everest and talk of feats of jumping out of airplanes, which I don't have anything against it. He did his time. He deserves his entitlement. But the point is we as Americans can't relate to these people. You can't relate to a guy who spent his whole life in the political system, working his way up, and all he wanted to be his whole life is a politician. He got elected to a political office. He's been there a mere year and a half, and he's fixed the state of Colorado. Now, I know y'all find that a little bit hard to believe, even in jest. We don't have anybody up here running. So, in my opinion, you're looking at the best candidate, as pitiful as he is. These guys, in a year and a half, he's been able to amass $140,000 for a campaign. I realize that isn't a whole lot. But in a year and a half's time, that's the kind of money we're talking about. We've created an aristocracy in Washington, D.C., where people run all over the world looking at different situations as though they have some real valuable input. Look at me today. Do you think I have valuable input to go to a cap and trade meeting in Stockholm or Copenhagen? I don't think so. And I don't think these people do either. They spend $1.5 million or more dollars a year representing us. That's reimbursable expenses to Mr. Salazar. $1.5 million. What did we get for that? We got an affirmative vote for health care. We got an affirmative vote for one of the bailout programs. There has been no piece of legislation in the last year and a half that should even come before Congress. We are not